Now we're on Daf Yud Amid Beis. Giyut Shalanu here in Bavel Kikibus Shalahem. We are experts here in Bavel in ironing, in Gihuts, and after Kibus, which is followed up by what we call Shifshuf, they used to take a broken shard of glass and do a Shifshuf. After that, so we had Kibus, Shifshuf Be'evan Chuchis, and now we have Gihuts, Ki Kibus Shalahem. In other words, in order for us to reach the level of Kibbutz of Eretz Yisrael, we have to go through a tripod process, three-part process. Our Kibbutz in Bavel, without Gihutz, is on a very low level. It's not very strong. It's not like Chazak, like the Kibbutz of Eretz Yisrael. And it won't clean the garment properly. Therefore, in our kibbutz here in Bavel, there's no purpose in being bodek and seeing after the kibbutz if there are tipas am that were covered by shichva zera, because our kibbutz is very weak. The iyamrit niyavet gihutz. If you're saying, wait, okay, so kibbutz is not a good modus operandi to be bodek when they're dam or not. So why not wait till giyutz? And now after giyutz, which is equal to the kibbutz of Eretz Yisrael, you'll be able to check and see if there's dam, tipas dam. So the Gemara says there's no point in doing this checking after kibbutz and giyutz. Why? That when we go through this whole process in Bavel that has three parts to it, and we begin with kibbutz, then we go to shifshuf, and finally to giyutz, then already when we get to the second stage, which is called shifshuf, at that point, all the tipas dam are removed. So it's impossible to use kibbutz, or for that matter, giyutz, to determine if there are tipas dam. Ahudi also coming to Rav Gamliel Barebi. So the chassan after his first bila came to Rav Gamliel. Omar Lei said to Rav Gamliel, Rebbe, V'alti v'lo matzasi dam. Omar Lei. Who is this? Amrullah is, it's the wife. I mean, not Rabbi Gamliel's wife. I mean, the wife of this chassan. Rebbe Adayim Besulani. That's a real challenge. He's saying that he didn't find her to be a Besula. There was no dam. And she challenges him and says, you know what? I'm still a Besula, even now as we speak. And now the Gemara is going to embark upon again, I never understood this Gemara, but there is apparently a medical way of investigating whether she's a Besula. And what is that? He didn't want to use Jewish girls for this. Hevilo Boshivan Alpi Chavish Al Yayin Psucha. And the Shifcha, who was a Ba'ula, was Reicha Nodef. So it means that the Besulin will block the reach of the fresh wine, and therefore, if there's no reach, we know that she is a besula. But if reicha nodef, then we know that she's a beula. Besula ain't reicha nodef. Afzu Shiva. That's exactly what they put her on a chavet shel yayin. Yeah, I don't know. It's news wise how you work this out, but I guess they covered it with a blanket or something. Below Hoya Recha Nodex. Apparently there was psulin that was blocking the reach from going outside. And Omer Lok and Rabbi Gamliel said to the Chassan, Lech Zechei B'mikch, as we saw before. The Gemara asks, why did Rabbi Gamliel have to be bodek with the shtei shvachos? And Nivdok Meikar Begava. Why not just use this case in point for the examination? The Gemara answers, Rabbi Gamliel, Gemara Avi Shmiel. He heard that there was a bedika in a place called Benos Yavesh Gilad, or Yavesh Gilad. Maisa lo avi chaz. It was all based on a shmua, some sort of a Torah Shmal Peh that he heard, a rumor that was passed on. But he never actually saw with his eyes that they implemented this bedika and they determined for sure whether she was a psula or not. Maybe I don't know exactly how to do and implement this bedika. It's not their to take Jewish girls for this kind of a bedika. And therefore, in order to check out exactly how to do the bedika, which he's not a baki in, he brought these two shvachos. Rebbe Baalti v'lo matzasi b'sulin. V'lo matzasi dam. Amrle Rebbe. So the wife turns from Gamliel. She says, Rebbe mishpachas durketiani. And the genes of that mishpacha are different. She'en lohem lo dam nida v'lo dam b'sulin. But I never had znus. But I come Gamliel b'krov sel. Umatza kidvarel. Omar lo, Rabbi Gamliel says, Lech schei b'mikcha ashrecha shezachisa l'mishpachas durket. I don't. Do you have any footnotes on this? I think what he's saying is that the fact that she will not have dam, that's a great boon. I don't know. My durketi dar katua. Doesn't sound like a great thing to be from a dark katua. Katua means it's cut off. You know, if she doesn't have dam nida, she's not going to have many children because she doesn't have the ovum, you know, that could impregnate her. By telling him Ashrei Shezachiso Shpakas Durkati, that was Hevel. He's just trying to give this down and out guy some sort of a lift, some sort of a consolation. It's not a good thing to be married to Mishpachas Turkey. They don't have too many children. The Tani Rab Chia Kshem Shasior Yafel Isa Kach Domim Yofim Leisha. That Ribui Dam is indicative of a woman who has a great capacity for reproduction. Utana Mishum Rabbi Meir Kol Isha Shedomer Merubim Banei Merubim. Itmar Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba Omar Zechei b'mikcha Omale. That's what Rabbi Gamliel said. Rabbi Yossi bar Oven Omar Nischayev b'mikcha Omale. That's what Rabbi Gamliel said. Meaning, whether you like it or not, you have to be married to this woman. You'll have to pay the ksuba. Bishlei Laman Yomi is Chayev Hainu Rabbi Chanina. Rabbi Chanina, who says that if a woman doesn't have damim, that's not a really good thing. So therefore he said to him, again, whether you like it or not, even Bal Karcha, you should receive this mekach, Eba Elech, Elaman the Yomer Zechei, Mai Zechusa. To lo asili de suffix nida. Okay, you're right. There's a trade-off here. On the one hand, you won't have too many children. She's not that fertile. But on the other hand, he doesn't have to worry about suffix nida. She'll never become a nida. Ahu di asili kami de Rebbe. Amalei Rebbe, ba'alti lo matzasi dam. Amalo Rebbe. She said to him, Adayim b'suan. He didn't see dam. The shnei batzoras ham. It was a year of dryness. There was no lachluchis in the air. And therefore, even the avarim of a person were impacted and they became dry. Ra Rebbe shepneim shchorim. Rebbe saw that they were looking pretty bad, dark complexion because of the famine. They washed, they fed them, they gave them drink, and afterwards, so Rebbe turns to the chassan and he says, Lech zechei b'mikacha. Kari Rebbe Aleim, the pasuk in Eicha Perek Daled, Safad Oram al Atzmam Yovesh Hayaketz. And this leads us to the Mishnah on the bottom of Daf Yudamid Beis. Besula Ksubasa Masayim Almana Mona. Besula Almana Mina Erisin. So she only had Erisin, and then her husband died. Ogrusha, he gave her a divorce, and Chalutzim and Erisin. In all these cases, when she remarries, she still has a cheskes besula and ksubas and masayim. She'll get 200 zuz like any other besula, even though she's been married before. V'yesh lam tainis besula, and therefore, if he has beer with her and he finds that she's not a besula, he can come forward and put that claim in. And be mafsid other ksubah. Gemara asks, "Umaya almana." What does the word almana mean? The etymological meaning. Omar Rav Chana bigsa almana al shem mana. Wow, unbelievable. We call it almana al shem mana. That she only gets a mana for a ksubah. So the Gemara asks, almana min erusin ma'ikal meimar. She's also called an almana, and yet she gets masayin. Really, it's a shame muchal. It's a borrowed term. An almana min erusin is not really an almana, because an almana means she gets a mana. This girl gets masayin, but we borrow it. Almana dechsiva ba'oraisa mai ikal meimar. If you're holding that ksuba is not d'oraisa, yet we find in the Torah the word almana. What status or what different halachas does she have insofar as she is called an almana? The Gemara answers, the Torah calls her almana because asidim rabbanan lemisakmi lamana. So again, the Gemara's kasha. Let's go back. Why is the almana called an almana in the Torah? She gets a ksuba, midivrei sofrim, and that's why she's called almana. But why would the Torah use the word almana? The Gemara answers that the Torah already employs the word almana al shem al asid, knowing in the infinite wisdom of God that the Chacham will be misakin almana for an almana. Because of Kra asid, do we find any precedent where the Torah in the psukim of the Torah they use a pasuk or a conjugation that's al shema asid in the Chsiv at the story of creation? V'shem anahar shlishi chidekel hu haholech kidmas ashur. It goes to the east of Ashur. V'tana Rabbi Yosef Ashur zu slika. Ashur is a city which today we call Slika. Umi Havoy is the city of Slika really built from the time of Brias Ha'olam, that the Torah already would say Nahar Chidekel, which is Mizracha, are located as in the east of this city. But this city hasn't been built yet. Ella, we have to conclude that the Torah writes it al shema us the Asida. There will be a city named Ashur or Slika, and the Torah already wants to tell us that Nahar Chidekel passes over the eastern side of the city. Okay, then. So I think we'll stop here. Hopefully we'll finish this later on today. The Omar of Chana Bagsa. Let's just make a note of it. There it is. Okay then, so let me wish you a great day. And tomorrow, Mr. Hashem, we'll call it for, what do we say, 9:45 was like the compromise. Any change, I'll let you know.